Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel for the program Africa Discourse. I am Wilson Marshall. Today is all about what is happening in Ghana. Yes, Nigeria-Ghana relationship issues arising. At first, it was the Nigerian traders complaining that the Ghanaian government, they shut their shops for over 8 months. All right. They backed up. They called them GUTA, G-U-T-A, Ghanaian Union Traders Association. They came to the shop, gave reasons, and they shut down the shop with backing from the Ghanaian government. Well, thinking that things will be resolved, but it's like things are not being resolved. And that led to our own government sounding a very strong warning to Ghana through Lai Mohammed, our Minister of Information. He said, look, the way you are treating us, this maltreatment must stop. Now, with these words being exchanged, yes, someone from Ghana was sent to Nigeria to broker peace. Is it going to lead to mutual respect between these two countries, or things are about to get worse? We talk about relationship between Ghana and Nigeria with what is going on right now in Ghana. Alleged maltreatment of Nigerians. Some are saying it's not alleged, that it's real, that they are saying it. What do you feel about it? With me here in the studio to talk about this, I have a legal practitioner, Barrister Henry Walzer. Barrister, welcome to Africa Discourse.
Good afternoon, and viewers at home, good afternoon.
Is anybody close to him? He is a medical practitioner, political analyst, public affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Dr. Dominic Atibie. Doc, welcome to Africa Discourse.
Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Wilson, and thank you, viewers, for listening.
All right, the rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana didn't start today. The superiority conquest between these two countries in West African sub-region is like it's getting to a point whereby everyone should be very, very careful so as not to tip the balance of cordial relationship between Nigeria and Ghana. But with the action of GUTA in Ghana against traders in Nigeria, do you think it's going to disrupt the smooth relationship, if there are any, between Nigeria and Ghana? Barrister, let me start off with you.
Well, from what is happening, the issue started as far back as 2019, November to be precise, November 11 to be precise, when GUTA, tried to shut down Nigerian shops. And they tried to give reasons. Well, the first reason they gave was that they were looking at the GIP, that is Ghana Investment Provisional Center Act 865 27, where they said that on the issue of retail trading as well as provision of services in the market, petty stores and all those are exclusively meant for Ghanaians. And that now that you now have foreigners trying to match them in terms of fit. You see, the law there already has a way of trying to exclude those who are not from that part of the world, in doing business. But you see also that certain Nigerians, like the person of Joseph, one of the Nigerians said that as far back as 2007, he ensured that he fully registered as demanded by law to enable him to operate. Recently, they are now asking him to pay $1 million if he knows he wants to work. This is the addition. So you find that retired on their own. That is one side of it. Another side of it borders on the issue of the closure of the border that has to do with the export and the import. And the Ghanaians, the trade, they are looking at it that their ministry has, for foreign affairs, has not done anything. The ECOWAS treaty that has been there in existence, that our African countries within the ECOWAS regions can move in from one country to the other to do business, that nothing has been done to checkmate the action of Nigeria in closing their border. But they have forgotten that Nigeria has a reason for closing their borders, because of proliferation of arms, as well as government trying to ensure that we are able to build on that which we have. Because our industry, rice are being smuggled in day out. Arms are equally smuggled in day out. So the government on its own part was trying to ensure that certain things are done to curtail the activities of this smuggler. But these our neighboring neighbors are not finding it easy. They are complaining, because the truth still remains that they are mostly the ones doing this business, these illegal businesses as well. Though they are claiming that they have hundreds of their trucks that are stranded in Nigerian borders between, and they have their traders that are all, they have been in Nigeria for a very long time, being unable to come back home because of these closure on borders as it were. But the question still remains. Before the action was taken by the Nigerian government, it took it for the best interest of the country as it were.
No, right.
And they should not be looking at it from that angle as if it was targeted on them solely. No, it is to improve our economy as it were, and also for our local businesses to equally try and ensure that smugglers do not use our place as a shortcut to their businesses.
All right, I will come back to you. Get to see the clip. They have been backed by Ghanaian forces, Ghanaian police, to maintain law and order, to make sure that the sealing of these shops are adhered to or done strictly to, according to them, their constitution. Doc, what do you feel about this?
Well, yes, I kind of sympathize with them, following the challenges they have, you know. Just like Nigeria, they're also trying to build up their economy. They felt due consultation should have been made to them before closing the borders, because the borders actually, like the barrister rightly said, is one of the great source of transport income and exports and imports of goods. And like we've said, although where I want to now not be on the fence, I want to come back to home, will be given the challenges we have in the country. In recent times, we've been having challenges of bandits, and then having all these firearms and whatever, that we are actually wondering where and how did this come about. We have seen over time that the only way that those ammunitions and all that could come into the country is via those borders. Also, just like they are crying about the economy that has not been, the economy that is dwindling, we have also had our own fair share before the COVID, and then even now that we are saying post-COVID, we are still having those challenges. That is challenges of marketing our own products made in Nigerian rice, not the foreign rice as it were, or all the other goods that have been contaminated, so to speak, you know, even though there are no clear-cut evidence that some of these things that have been smuggled in are actually dangerous. But of course, at some coffers, some of the NAFDAC and some other agencies have come out to say, okay, these are not so good. But again, I know it is all aimed at patronizing made in Nigerian products.
All right, now if you take a look at the clip, you get to see some Nigerians resisting the policemen sent to enforce the law put on the ground by Nigerian traders to seal up their shop because they refuse to obey what the Ghanaians really want them to obey. Now, when one of the traders was interviewed, he said, this is maltreatment. This is a hateful, that there is hate under the action of this group of persons that came to seal off their shop. Is there an element of truth in that allegation?
Well,
that is all about hate. They don't like Nigerian traders. They are scared that they're taking over the market.
Yeah, you see, even before now, we have had that challenge in South Africa. We have that challenge in some other countries of the world, because wherever any Nigerian goes, he tries to do whatever he does it to the best of his knowledge. If it is business, if he's working, he's a medical doctor, a broadcaster, whatever position he takes, he tries to do it to the best of his knowledge, and usually we are selling it. So Nigerians who are trading in Ghana, they have been doing so well in their businesses. I listened to one Chukwuemeka Nnaji, who is the president of the Nigerian Luther, and when he was trying to raise those issues, as it were. But you also find out that the law is there, that when it borders on the issue of retail trading, when it borders on the issue of provision of the services in the markets and all that, that section has always been there in the Ghanaian law, that it is preserved for the Ghanaians. And again, some of them who have been there for a very long time have been able, said they have been able to ensure that they have gotten all the licenses needed to enable them to do this business as it were. But now they are demanding $1 million. So the issue of hate, it will come in, but again, I see that it is an action that the government is carrying out, because even the government initially was not putting force as it were. It was the members of the association itself, the Notarial Association, that are trying to enforce it. Because on their own part, they claim that the police officers were not doing enough to ensure that these shops are closed. You know, putting that force as it were. So, but you also discover that the Nigerian government, on its own part, Onyema came out, by Jamila, the speaker, you know, Onyema tried to, you know, see the Ghanaian discharge affairs in Nigeria. Do. But you see the argument, that the argument was basically on the fact that because Nigeria has done this, our borders have been closed, that this has affected their own economy as it were, and those who are doing business. For that single reason, that is why they are carrying out this action, as it were, to see if a pressure will be on Nigerian government to open their borders to enable other ECOWAS countries to come in to do business as stipulated in the ECOWAS treaty, which they claim, as it were. But they have forgotten that we have our own side of it. We are trying to preserve our own economy. We are trying to ensure that our lives and properties are protected because of these bandits, kidnappers, armed robbers, and all the smugglers that are coming in. So that is the position.
Oh, now, can one deduce that this is a case of tit for tat between Ghana and Nigeria, occasioned by the border closure?
Yes, I think to an extent, yes, because the way they are looking at it, I just want to be, I want to be a Nigerian and be a Ghanaian. Actually, yeah, I'm trying to look at it from their own perspective.
Try to find a balance.
Yes, a balance in the matter. You know, they have also, like I said earlier during the previous time I was speaking, they said the challenge is their economy is dwindling. Now, how do we get these guys to open up the border so that we can get our work up going? Now, again, we know that there's a chance that this smuggling of contraband, all those could come into the country, but they are looking at it from the economic perspective. That is why when someone charged their affairs, that is Miss Eva Dino, she was actually putting up all those points to him and telling him, logically, my country are having this challenge. If this border continues to remain closed, we're going to suffer. But again, while some other persons were of the opinion that this is just a payback to Nigeria at some point, you know, when you have rivalry that has been there embedded, that sometime back when it was Ghana must go, following the challenges and the troubles that Ghanaians had, and we had to forcefully force them. Well, I think that is not to be discussed now. They are also using this avenue to say, okay, we have built our economy to an extent. We want to sell. These Nigerians are here in our country. They've shown us how to trade. We've gotten the skills and the technique. Now we want to send them back so we can continue and hammering on the bedrock they've kept for us. Let's send them back like they did to us some time back. That's why they're giving this very exorbitant, I mean, $1 million. Who does that?
1 million? Because I'm really coming to that. I have to pay 1 million per shop. Does it make sense?
What is the worth of the shop? What is the worth of the shop in the first instance? And even if the shop is worth $2 billion, why should you want to collect 1 billion? These are petty traders. These are traders that, I mean, you could see from the clips. These are just, you could also just make an assessment of what is the worth of that shop. Now, the whole idea is just they feel the ECOWAS community have not really done their best in trying to preserve the treaties, and so they feel the ECOWAS community is robbing Peter to pay Paul. So for them, this is an avenue for them to now chase the Nigerians just like they did some time back. Ghana must go. So this time it's Nigeria must go, but in a technical way where they want to collect their financing and then deal with us.
All right, now viewers, if you're watching this, take a look at the partition of those shops. At one shop, they should pay $1 million, not naira, not cedis, dollars. Now, do you think it's a way of telling traders to pack up and go?
No, that is the implication. The action clearly shows that if you know you cannot afford it, you should leave, so that they too can go back and do the same business as it were. Yeah. Because the truth there is that Nigerians have been able to teach them the rudiments of business as it were. Because in any part of the world you go, you don't see an Igbo man doing business. That means that place nobody can inhabit it. The Igbos have been able to show that skill that they have. They have been able to show that determination to succeed in everything they do. And the Ghanaians have been able to learn from it. Today they are saying, if you cannot give us $1 million, you should pack your goods and leave. And you know, many of them will be forced to come back home. That is the implication from their action. At the end of the day, you will discover that very few persons in the government does not play its role, ensuring that this action is nipping the bud. At the end of the day, many of them will be forced to sell off their goods, and then they find their way back home, as it were. And then the pressure that has already been existing here will continue to mount. Recently, we have so many coming back from different parts of the world because of the COVID-19. We have not been able to manage it. Yet, those of them who are in Ghana, the government there, as well as, because the pressure is from the Ghana Union of Traders Association. That is the one that is, they are putting so much pressure on their government. And their government on their own, initially they were reluctant in taking the bull by the horn. But as it were now, when they discover that these persons are, the Trader Association are going out on their own way to ensure that these shops are closed, because they claim that the government and the police are not doing enough. That is why the government, to avoid a situation whereby there's
flow of order.
And again, they are all equally. Look at it from the angle that this is our neighbors. Accepted there has been rivalry in football, sports generally, as it were, music then, when you have the old days when you have to have high life and all that. Yeah. There has always been that rivalry between Ghanaians and the Nigerians. And at a point in time, we have to, when we discover that they almost took over everything here, we have to force many of them back to their country. So I am looking at it from an angle, it's tit for tat, it's time to pay back. That is the way I am looking at it. But they are being systematic about it, they are being diplomatic about it, because they are hanging under the cover that, you know, their trade, Nigeria has closed their border for export and import, and there are a lot of their trucks and at the border, their goods and their persons are hanging out. So that is what they are using.
All right, now Lai Mohammed issued a warning, said the maltreatment of Nigeria in Ghana will no longer be tolerated. What do you think should be our next line of action, talking about Nigerian government? Yeah,
basically it's for Nigerian government to call the parties involved, okay? That is the GUTA, the Ghanaian Union of the Ghanaian Union Traders Association. Yeah. They're represented by maybe their presidents in that committee, and then also for our Traders Union Association in Ghana, which I gather is Mr. Jasper Emenike, of course, an Igbo man, of course, like we said, they are the ones that are into business
commerce
generally, you know, and then gets in the charge d'affaires, that is Miss Eva Dino, then with our minister, that is Minister of Foreign Affairs, Oyema, and then of course our Minister of Information. And if possible, then have this discussion with them. Where needs be, put a phone call, have some communication with the president. Let's come in hand, let's discuss. We can't continue this way. I mean, only yesterday I was told there was this meeting between the Minister of Information and Mr. Jasper Emenike, which is the Traders Union in Nigeria that's representing us there. You know, they had this but there was actually a deadlock, more like, because the other party was not part of it, so as to know how they can end this. Like the barrister rightly said, if we don't do things very fast and act now, there's a chance that in a few days, maybe a few weeks to come, we'll be having a similar incidence of what is Ghana must go. This time around to be Nigeria must leave. You know, so for us not to get to that phase, we need to discuss. I mean, that is the matter right now. That is very, very, in fact, it's actually a national discourse. We have to sit down, discuss intelligently, logically, and ensure that our traders, our people, Nigerians that are in Ghana are safe, protected, their properties are okay, because very soon it's going to go violent. People, Nigerians' homes in Ghana will be set ablaze. I mean, that's what we've seen. We've seen in recent times in South Africa. We've seen in recent times other parts of xenophobia. And it's going to be having another form of xenophobia if our leaders continue to remain. I know they are not really relenting, because like we've had Minister of Information, that is Lai Mohammed, is all about it. Let us not just play politics to this. Let's hit it and then ensure that our Nigerians, our brothers that are in Ghana, are safe and everything is bought. Like just like the barrister said, actually, I just want to correct an impression that I feel, in my opinion. He said they are trying to be diplomatic and system. I mean, they are not being diplomatic. I mean, is this diplomacy? $1 million per store? That's terrible.
Wow, $1 million per store. If you don't bring it. Anyway, now, do you see this putting this strain in ECOWAS? You know that Ghana and Nigeria, the major bloc in ECOWAS, with Ghana and Nigeria at each other's throat right now, so to speak. Do you see ECOWAS being affected one way or the other?
Definitely ECOWAS will be affected. Some other countries who border equally borderline with Nigeria, that would have been doing business as it were, like as Ghanaians are complaining. Some of them will be supporting the action of Ghana, because they will see it as an avenue that if pressure is put on Nigeria, definitely the border will be open. It will equally favor them as it were. But again, they forget that Nigeria being a nation that we are determined people, and we are people who can always get what we want depending on how we want to have it. It's not as if our leaders do not know what to do, as it were. Our leaders know what to do. I know a lot of diplomatic moves have been going on underground by the president, by the foreign affairs minister, the information minister as well. Before Nigeria came out, to give the warning, is because the pressure is much on the people, and before you know it, violence, and that is what the government is trying to avoid. So a situation whereby Nigerians or the Ghanaians will take up arms against Nigerians, or Nigerians will take up arms against Ghanaians. Because a man coming to forcefully close your shop is at the same time saying that you should no longer exist. And before you know it, you might become angry, and you vent it on the person. And before you try to say jack, it will escalate. And Nigerians were everywhere, and everywhere we are doing business, we do it in big way. We are not doing business as though you have some who do hawking, as it were, but those of them who have stores, they have big stores. They go into big time importation and exports, as it were. And if care is not taken with the pressure, as it were, it might result to something that nobody will want to see at the end of the day.
All right, now from what is it says, some other African countries in the West African bloc, ECOWAS, may cite Ghana to put pressure on Nigeria to open the borders. Do you see this happening because of this squabble right now between Nigeria and Ghana?
I do. I see it happening both. We need to be very objective. I know Nigeria has to be very smart. I know us to be very smart to be able to handle pressures of this kind, because that is the angle that would definitely other African or West African countries will be towing, so that our borders can be opened. Now we need to look at it very critically. We need to go into the books again and check. We need to be very critical about our country. If we allow all this, the border become too porous, we begin to have problems. We have to strike a balance. That's just the way we can do some intelligent discourse. Strike this balance, ensure that we keep a blind eye to whatever they are saying, keep our borders still closed, look for alternative means of systematically opening the border, just to please them technically, and then closing it back. There's definitely a way to go about it. And I mean, these are not some of the things we discuss on air, but definitely there's a way. That is the pressure that will come. I expect that pressure from tomorrow. From other countries, putting pressure on Nigeria, being the one-time giant of Africa. I don't know if we're still there.
We still with the giant of Africa. Use the word, we are still giant of Africa. According to the reports right now.
According to all right, fine. So they want to put that. They want to put us in. They would like to put us in that pressure, that very tight corner for us to just leave. But I know us to be smart enough not to allow ourselves succumb.
Now, what if wars come to wars? Would you advise the traders, Nigerian traders in Ghana, to come back home to establish?
Well, you see,
because some people are saying no, they don't want to leave, that they should settle this situation, they don't want to leave. Don't think it's smart for them to just move?
Well, I know of a truth. It's usually very difficult when you say Nigerians who are doing business in any part of the world.
If they're being troubled, come back home.
If they are being troubled, you find it difficult. Even in Nigeria here, you go to the north where you have Boko Haram insurgents here every day. The Igbos who are doing businesses in this war-ravaged areas, they are still there doing business. The best most of them does is that they send their families home. They remain there and do their business. It's the same thing you will find in terms of Ghana. Nobody will want to come back home because they will tell you they are doing well where they are. And what are they coming home to come and do? They will try to give you the reasons why they would prefer to remain there. So they will put, while the Ghanaian government on their own is putting pressure on them, they will be putting pressure on the Nigerian government to ensure that the Nigerian government, does, that which will be to their own benefit, to ensure that they remain where they are to do business. Relying again on the ECOWAS treaty, as it were, that we are free to do business within our neighbors, as it were. Can go into any of the ECOWAS countries and do business. So they will equally be relying on that. And I believe strongly too that the Nigerian government, as it were, will do the best possible to ensure that that strain, the relationship as it is gradually building up, does not get to that angle where it will become very elastic, that one will be afraid that it will cut. I know, but within the shortest possible time, the government of Nigeria as well as that of Ghana will sit down and look at it, because there are Ghanaians who are doing business in Nigeria. Okay. You have Ghanaians who are doing business. They bring in trucks load of goods day in, day out into this part of the world too. So it's not as if we are the only one who are in the other parts of the world doing business. They have their people here who are doing business. So nobody will want, to met out something that will not be good to the other person on the other side, knowing fully well that you are on this other side of the divide, as it were. So I know the government will look at it and see how the logjam, they come out of the logjam to the benefit of the countries, as it were. Because the Nigerian government on their own part will be doing it, bearing in mind the fact that we close our border for a reason. We didn't close the border because we want to punish our African neighbor. We close our border because we want to check the inflow of persons, goods from these parts of the world, the area of smuggling and others, as it were, and at the same time to build our own economy.
All right, you're going to have the last line on this, Doc Ativier Dominic. What advice do you have for Nigerian government and Ghanaian government within 45 seconds, because our time is up?
Sit, discuss intelligently, and then get a solution in the closest possible time that there is.
All right, you have to sit, discuss intelligently to get solution to this problem. Barrister, thank you so much for coming to today's show. And of course, Doc, thank you so much. Let's see what will be the next line of action between Nigeria and Ghana. Is it going to get worse or there'll be solution? We're watching. We'll keep reporting back to you. Bye for now.